The world's worst kept secret is finally revealed. That's right, WWE have announced that Rob Van Dam, RVD, Mr. Monday Night, the whole effing show is going to be a part of the 2021 class of the WWE Hall of Fame. And first off, I want to say congratulations, it is well deserved. RVD is my favourite wrestler of all time, and I'm so pleased to see him in this position. He's had a hell of a career. If you go back, he started, of course, with time in Japan. He had a small stint in WCW. He was, of course, making his name really in ECW, of course, was a part of an ECW original Revolution in the mid-90s to late 90s, and of course having great success, becoming a nearly 2-year reign as the television champion, having great matches with the likes of Sabu, Jerry Lynn, you name it. RVD had superb matches with so many people, bringing in such moves as the Van Daminator and of course famously the Van Terminator. Yes, that's right, he made it first, not the Coast to Coast from Shane McMahon. Of course, that was a He Wave 2000 if you go back and watch that on the network, a fantastic manoeuvre. But RVD went on, I would say, went through the Invasion era, was arguably one of the most popular people to come in at that point also. So much he was a main event of a WWE pay-per-view only a few short months after debuting. He had a famous matches, of course, with Jeff Hardy at the Invasion pay-per-view as well. He was Hardcore Champion, Intercontinental Champion, a Tag Team Champion. He was, of course, when ECW was rebranded, the Heavyweight Champion there, and of course, most famously, WWE Champion, winning that at 2006 One Night Stand against John Cena. And what a special match that was. Of course, the ECW arena, that environment, the passionate, hardcore fan base of ECW, you believed them when you saw the signs. If Cena wins, we riot. John Cena epitomized everything that was hated from ECW fan base, a perfect WWE candidate, the role model champion that John Cena was coming into that environment. And you know, Cena probably, he was used to cheers and boos at that time. He wasn't used to what he got on that night from that ECW fan base, and it was just the perfect bit of poetry, the way it was put together, RVD winning the championship. Of course, he didn't go on to have, you know, as long a run as perhaps maybe one would have hoped, and perhaps it didn't end under the best circumstances, but I tell you what, Rob Van Dam has made his mark in the industry. And like I say, today we see so many flips, so many dives, innovative moves, all variations of things that you wouldn't have seen back when RVD was around. You could say that RVD is a great influence to many a superstar of what we've got today. Rob Van Dam did continue his career, of course, was a part of TNA, becoming their World Heavyweight Champion back in 2010, defeating AJ Styles as well in that famous encounter. And as well, he's been back in WWE since, and of course went back to Impact Wrestling most recently, was there until what, the middle end, towards the end of last year. So RVD right now a free agent, and it's just great to see that he's there. I'm so pleased for him that he's part of the Hall of Fame. Like I say, one of my favourites of all time, and so many great matches and moments. I've had the privilege to watch quite a few RVD matches in the most recent times, in fact over the weekend, because I recorded a podcast with Wrestling Through Life, Scott, on that channel. He'll be releasing that video on Tuesday or Wednesday this week, so when that does drop, I'll leave that in the description of this video, and also in my playlist as well, appearing on other YouTube channels that will be found in there. We've got the Ultimate RVD playlist discussing some of RVD's best matches and moments, and of course matches that you should go and check out if you haven't seen them already on the WWE network. And of course, it's an incredible listen, highly recommend you go and check it out. For me, some of my favourites I've mentioned there already, John Cena. The matches with Jerry Lynn back in ECW were just absolutely incredible. I think Living Dangerously, the first one, really stands out for me, because Jerry Lynn, you didn't really see him as a viable threat on that night. He was on RVD's level, and you know, it got to the point where matches then had time limit draws in ECW. This had to go into overtime. RVD managing to arguably escape with the championship, making a new star in Jerry Lynn, and to the point that these two would just continue that rivalry until ECW finished. They were the actual main event of the last ECW pay-per-view, so for me, a special rivalry that I'll always remember. One that perhaps people don't necessarily go to would be The Undertaker at Vengeance 2001, to the point that the Hardcore Championship meant so much when RVD held it. The Undertaker was going for it. Let's not forget, that was a championship that's held multiple times by Pete Gas in the Attitude Era, and The Undertaker fought to get that belt off of RVD, which, you know, was just so vicious, going through, you know, the crowd on that sort of show, the fact that RVD jumping off the balcony in a high cross body and even being chokeslammed through 2 tables off the staging by The Undertaker. And you see the facial at the end of it, The Undertaker being like, what the hell have I just gone through? RVD is a star. There's just so many great matches and moments that you could have with RVD in such a legendary career. I'm so pleased to see him in Hall of Fame. Once again, I want to say congratulations, Rob Van Dam. You are taking your place rightfully in the Hall of Fame, and I imagine Paul Heyman will probably be the guy that will induct RVD in there. Perhaps Sabu could be the one as well, but I'd be surprised if that was actually to be the case. But of course, Sabu did sort of break this news last week on Non-Stop Wrestling Chat. Of course, that was a podcast you can go and check out as well. So this isn't really a surprise to many of us, but I tell you, it's something that's been coming for a long time, and I'm very pleased to see that RVD is getting this moment. But that's all from me anyway. This is a quick upload just to let you know that RVD is in the class of 2021 WWE Hall of Fame. Go and check out my latest videos that are available for you on the channel right now. My Q&A Ask SCW episode 17 is on the channel for you right now. And as well as that, will WrestleMania 37 be good? That video is being released on Saturday. Highly recommend you go and check that out as well. My thoughts of all the match card and everything that is going into WrestleMania 37. But that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Have yourselves a great day. You've been watching SCW here on YouTube.